Will have to appear in a Colorado court.
And a legend is gone tonight. Advice columnist Ann Landers has passed away.
Plus, the death of a baseball star stuns his team and his fans. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Live, Anna Katayama, Chris Murphy, Monica Guzza with the Pinpoint Forecast, and Dan Christofferson Sports. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. The Oregon woman behind the wheel when a van crashed, killing 4 firefighters in Colorado, will have to answer to a judge.
21-year-old Megan Helm is accused of careless driving, and she has been summoned to appear in court. The crash happened yesterday near Parachute, Colorado. 11 people from a fire crew based in La Grande were in the van. 3 of the people killed were from the La Grande, Baker City area. That is where KPTV's Jim Hyde is live tonight. He has the very latest on the story. Jim?
Good evening, Anna. Oregon and Colorado are both grieving tonight for those lost firefighters, especially here in La Grande, where here at the Forest Service Ranger Station has been a long and an awful day. Also in the community, one that sends its sons and daughters out to fight wildland fires. Well, the contract crews pulled out of the Grayback Forestry Yard. That's just down Highway 30 here from where I am. They were heading for Colorado on Thursday afternoon.
Talking to the driver, she told us that might have been momentarily distracted. Somebody called her name. I'm really not sure at this point.
Yes. All right. Well, we're having some difficulties with the package story that we sent down to you. Essentially, the crew left here on Thursday afternoon, headed for Colorado. The crash occurred about midway on Interstate 70, about midway between Grand Junction and Vail, Colorado. All right, I think we have that package ready to go now. Let's listen up. Fighters from Oregon and Idaho were en route to join the lines at the Hayman Fire, southwest of Denver. If they thought about death at all, they did not expect it to come on the highway. But death came to 4 of them here along I-70 in western Colorado, about midway between Grand Junction and Vail.
Lost control, went across the median off the right side of the road, and there the van rolled 4 times.
All 11 firefighters in the van were injured. The young woman killed was 19-year-old Retha Shirley of La Grande. Her family and friends gathered at the house north of town, including her brother, Jesse.
I never met anybody that didn't enjoy having her around and company. Didn't matter who they were. She didn't care. She'd befriend anybody.
Even a big brother?
No, yeah, occasionally.
The young firefighters who work for the Forest Service, or the contract crews put together by Grayback Forestry, the outfit that sent a caravan of 8 vehicles from La Grande to Colorado on Thursday afternoon, tend to treat each other like family. Their lives can depend on that trust.
They've fought on the fire lines with Forest Service firefighters and state firefighters, so they tend to know each other, and it really does hit hard anytime there's any kind of an accident.
The crews will return late tonight or early tomorrow to the Grayback logging yard they left on Thursday afternoon. But one young woman will not be with them. At Retha Shirley's home, the family remembers a young woman.
She's a really good shot. You can hit about anything you can stick out there.
Jesse Shirley says Retha's boyfriend was a couple vans ahead, also a member of the fire crew. And he was able to hold her as she died. The whole family back here in La Grande are holding on to her memory and her goals.
Nursing, yeah. And then after that, she wanted to go into the service for a couple of years, and then that'd be her goals. And then come back and just go back to fishing and hunting.
Chris, we're back here, and Anna, back here at the ranger station in La Grande. The firefighters, as we said, were heading for the Hayman Fire southwest of Denver. Their route would have taken them right by Storm King Mountain in Glenwood Springs. You'll recall back in 1994, 14 firefighters, most of them from a hotshot crew in Prineville in Central Oregon, were killed in that fire. The crew that left here yesterday was just about an hour from Glenwood Springs when their fatal accident occurred. Chris, Anna?
All right, Jim Hyde reporting live from La Grande tonight. Thanks for the update.
The latest tragedy in Colorado stuns Oregon. 3 firefighters from here died in that van crash. Right now, more than 2,000 firefighters from the Northwest are helping to fight other fires in several states, including California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. The U.S. Forest Service says when a firefighter dies, fellow firefighters feel as though they've lost a family member.
Our thoughts and prayers and heartfelt, sympathy go out to the families, obviously, of everybody involved, and we always hate to see this situation happen.
As we mentioned earlier, 11 people were involved in the van crash, and here's a list of the folks involved. 21-year-old Megan Helm of LeGrand was driving the van. Killed in the accident were 19-year-old Retha Shirley from Baker City, 28-year-old Daniel Rama from Baker City, and Jake Martindale from Boise, Idaho. The fourth person who died has not yet been identified. Injured in the wreck were Patrick Shore and Anthony Kyle, both of LeGrand, Jason Staton from Baker City, Bartholomew Bailey from Corvallis, and Brandon Fiala, whose hometown is not known. Robert Hines of Burley, Idaho, was also involved.
Not only are crews coping with the loss of those killed in the van crash, but now conditions are getting worse for the firefight in Colorado. After 2 days of good weather, firefighters battling the Hayman fire are seeing wind gusts of more than 40 miles per hour. Fire officials say the worsening winds could reduce firefighters' ability to use planes to fight the fire from above.
We've got a red flag warning, which to us means we got to be on the top of our game, be ready to get out of places, regroup, and re-strategize, and be aware of the situation around us and take care of everybody.
Right now, the 137,000-acre fire is 60% contained, but officials say they wouldn't be surprised if that percentage fell. As we said, more than 2,000 firefighters from Oregon are on the lines throughout the West tonight, from Colorado all the way to California.
And most of those firefighters work for private companies that bring millions to the state's economy. The companies hire students and seasonal workers, and Oregon fields by far the largest number of private crews in the country.
The fatalities in Colorado were the second serious loss of life connected to the western fires this week. Look at this video. 3 people in a C-130 air tanker working near Walker, California on Monday died when this plane went down. That accident is still under investigation.
A mammoth wildfire forces the evacuation of 7,700 people in Show Low, Arizona today. Crews called for the evacuation as the Rodeo fire spread to an area about 8 miles west of Show Low. And so far, the Rodeo fire has burned more than 150,000 acres. Today's evacuation comes just as firefighters were beginning to feel that they were gaining the upper hand.
Some quite amazing things happening today. We're turning the corner. We're starting to take proactive measures and actually begin to battle the fire instead of reacting and chasing the fire. And that's both on the Rodeo and the Chetasky fire.
But here's one reason for concern tonight. There are only 6 miles separating the 150,000 Rodeo wildfire and the 20,000-mile Chetasky fire. If these two fires join up, experts say they could be dealing with a huge 300,000-acre fire that's burning along a 50-mile front.
And it only gets worse. The weather is not helping the firefighters in Colorado or in Arizona, and it could make things interesting in Oregon fairly soon as well.
Monica Guzza joins us now with more on the fire outlook here in Oregon. Monica?
Yes, and in fact, the entire West, because of drought and because of lots of high temperatures, we have got a very high fire threat throughout the entire West, Southwest, stretching from Nebraska and Oklahoma and Texas all the way into the Pacific Northwest, including Oregon. And for us, the worst hit areas could possibly be Southern Oregon, Southeastern Oregon, Northeastern Oregon, and Central Oregon. All of these areas are dealing with drought, and right now the temperatures are rather moderate and the humidities are relatively high, but as we go into next week, those are going to shoot up. Humidities are going to drop, temperatures are going to rise significantly. We really could be seeing some very high fire danger. So 3/4 of the state is looking at a big threat for fire. Right now there are not any that are causing any problems, and hopefully it will stay that way. We'll talk about the weather more when I return. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Monica. And stay tuned for KPTV for continuing coverage of the wildfires in the West. We'll bring you the latest from Arizona, California, and Colorado as crews work to keep up with the flames. Still to come, America in mourning the loss of one of its favorite advice columnists.
And a stunning death in the world of baseball this weekend. A pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals is found dead.
Plus, in tonight's Newsmakers, the splendors of Imperial Japan come to Portland. We'll take you on a special tour.
When reviewing the Lexus LS430, Automobile Magazine said, no car in this class has more inviting leather, a more comfortable ride, a superior stereo, or a more logical navigation system. Perhaps this is why, for the second year in a row, Automobile Magazine has named the LS430 the best luxury car over $40,000. To its owners, it's the best luxury sedan in the world. The LS430, at Lexus of Portland.
It's Wix Furniture's big 36-hour store-wide sale. No payments or finance charges due for 1 year.
Wix has it all, baby.
Hey, come on, let's go.
Only in Oregon, where millions of dollars in lottery profits go to maintain our state parks year-round. Because to Oregonians, there's no such thing as a bad day at the beach. Lottery games are based on chance and should be played for entertainment only.
Planning to sell your home or condo this year? You're probably wondering how much it's worth. You can find out free on the web at housevalues.com. So if you're planning to sell, visit housevalues.com today. That's housevalues.com.
This is the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Very cool on the outside, but even cooler on the inside. With CD storage right under your seat, massive side pockets for all your stuff, and 32 different seating configurations. It's one of the most versatile rides on the road. So it's up to what you're into. After all, change is good, right?
Get to your Chrysler dealer and get in a PT Cruiser for just $17.40 with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection.
You're watching KPTV, Oregon's 12. You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. A Grand Ronde couple remains in serious condition tonight after a car fire that killed 2 of their children.
12-year-old Lucian Davidson and his 8-year-old sister Jane died when the family car caught fire. It happened on Highway 18 near Sheridan Thursday night. The children's parents, Lauren and Everett, were rushed to Emmanuel Hospital along with a third child in the car. Their 12-year-old son, Benjamin, survived but is in critical condition right now, I should say. Now, the family was headed home after shopping in McMinnville when the accident happened. Police are investigating whether chemicals in the fertilizer they bought fueled that fire.
The Davidsons are receiving treatment tonight at Emmanuel Hospital's newly refurbished burn center. The intensive care facility was recently expanded from 5,000 square feet to 20,000. Nurses say that they can give burn patients better care now. The facility has been expanded and it's been updated with the latest in high-tech equipment.
They get faster treatment. You know, they get life-saving procedures quickly with the expertise of the burn staff instead of having to go through the ER and then be transferred over here and delay time.
Burn patients stay in the burn center throughout their treatment process from the time that they're in critical condition to the point where they're ready to go home. And so nurses say they get to know the patients well, and that allows for more personalized, quality care.
Fire this morning does major damage to a home in North Portland. Investigators say a fire broke out around 3 o'clock at a home on Tomahawk Island. Fire crews attacked the flames from land and from the boat. No one was hurt, but the damage estimates are at $300,000. The cause of this fire is now being investigated. Multnomah County deputies are trying to identify a body pulled from the Columbia River today. The body was discovered near Chinook Landing just before 11 o'clock. Apparently, the body has been in the river for quite some time now. An autopsy is pending.
One of America's most influential ladies is being remembered tonight. Known to millions as a source of sensible advice on almost any subject, 83-year-old Ann Landers passed away today. Her publisher, the Chicago Tribune, says that she died of multiple myeloma, which is a malignant tumor of the bone marrow. Landers' real name was Esther Lederer. She's been writing her advice column since 1955. Her column first appeared in print in 1955, but by 1993, she was syndicated in more than 1,200 newspapers with 90 million readers daily. Psychology Today once gave her credit for having more influence on how people work out their problems than anyone else of her era. Landers' twin sister Pauline followed her in the profession as Dear Abby. And another death shocked baseball fans today. A pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals is found dead in his hotel room. We'll have a story when the 10 o'clock news continues.
Plus, police in Utah head east to talk with a man who may have information about the disappearance of 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart.
I'm Kimberly Moss.
And I'm Ken Ackerman. Summer is just about to get sweeter. Monday on Good Day Oregon, we're kicking off blueberry season with a great recipe.
Plus, overcome your fears, take risks, and achieve success. We'll show you some powerful strategies. Also, they're not just for asthma anymore. We'll check out the many uses of inhalers.
And before joining a clinical trial, hear what you need to know. That's Monday on Good Day Oregon.
The smooth-riding Toyota Highlander, bringing an unexpected bit of comfort to the rugged world of the SUV.
It's amazing how many of the things we value in Oregon grow out of our forest, like clean water, recreation, a diverse economy. The question is, how do we balance these? And how do we make sure that the environmental, social, and economic benefits will always be there? You're invited to help answer that question and to help Oregon strike the right balance. Here's how you can join the discussion about sustaining all the benefits that come from our forests.
It's one of the finest collections of Japanese art from the Meiji period, and it's at the Portland Art Museum all summer long. A behind-the-scenes look later tonight.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
On the next Everybody Loves Raymond.
Sunday on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
My favorite thing at Izzy's is the garlic mashed potatoes.
The salad bar is so huge and there's so many choices for you to pick from.
Pizza bar here is great because everyone has whatever kind of flavor that they like, or any kind of pizza, they have it here. I noticed they had a new Sicilian stir fry and it was absolutely wonderful. The dessert bar at Izzy's is great because you can take however much that you want. The green beans are the best.
Izzy's is a great value.
As a single mother, it's a place to go.
I usually get lots of salad, but sometimes I don't.
Hi, Mom, we gotta go. Go, Mom, they're waiting outside. Hey, girls, I'm coming. Come on, Sunny. Hey, okay, 2-1.
Blueberries are going to be coming right behind it.
You gonna make me a pie?
At least a pie. Blackberries, too.
Tonight's sports report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by your local Northwest Chrysler dealers.
This is the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Very cool on the outside, but even cooler on the inside. With CD storage right under your seat, massive side pockets for all your stuff, and 32 different seating configurations. It's one of the most versatile rides on the road. So it's up to what you're into. After all, change is good, right?
Get to your Chrysler dealer and get in a PT Cruiser for just $17.40 with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection.
Welcome back. Topping news from America tonight. Police from Salt Lake City are in West Virginia to question a man about the kidnapping of 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart.
Brett Michael Edmonds remains in serious condition tonight, but he is alert. He checked himself into a West Virginia hospital this week for an apparent drug overdose. A milkman reported seeing Edmonds' car in Smart's neighborhood a day or two before the kidnapping. The Smart family is cautiously optimistic tonight about the capture.
Edmonds' vehicle had been seen in this area a number of times. I think his vehicle, as a matter of fact, was pulled out from just up here. But all of this, all of this grading has taken place in the last week and a half to 2 weeks, from what I understand. And so when he was pulled out, the grading hadn't been done up here yet.
Smart's younger sister gave police a description of the suspect, and police say that Edmonds does not match that description.
Take a look, an amazing scene in Boston as a 4-alarm fire tears through a home in Boston. Witnesses say sparks were shooting from an air conditioner before flames engulfed the entire building in Massachusetts there. The fire spread to a home next door, but there was no major damage to that property and no one was hurt.
And Amtrak is threatening to shut down this week. Transportation Secretary Norman Mineta says he doesn't want to see that happen, and so he is planning to offer emergency financial aid to keep Amtrak going past Wednesday's threatened shutdown. He's offering no specifics tonight. New Amtrak President David Gunn says that he'll begin shutting down the railroad Wednesday without financial help to close a $200 million budget gap.
A powerful earthquake flattens nearly 100 villages in Iran. At least 500 people are dead. 1,600 are hurt and thousands are left homeless. The quake registered 6.0 on the Richter scale. The quake struck at 7:30 a.m. when most people were still in their homes of brick, stone, and mud, which are prone to collapse in quakes. The epicenter was about 140 miles from the capital, Tehran.
5 powerful explosions rattled Spain during a 2-day European summit that ended today. A Basque separatist group is claiming responsibility. No injuries are reported in the 2 blasts today. Altogether, 4 bombs and a package of explosives went off in 3 resorts on the Mediterranean and in 2 northern cities. Some of the bombs were hidden in stolen cars. The blast yesterday propelled shreds of metal and glass, injuring 10 people, including several tourists and a Spanish policeman.
Time now for sports. A sad day in the baseball world. Hard to be a Cardinals fan this week, Dan.
Yeah, it's so hard to believe he was so young.
That's right. You know, this one really sets baseball in the sports world on its ear, and just a tragedy for sure. It has been a heartbreaking week, that is, for the St. Louis Cardinals, as Chris alluded to. Tuesday night, as Cardinal fans mourn the death of legendary broadcaster Jack Buck, Darryl Kyle took the mound and pitched his team into first place. 5 days later, Kyle is gone too at the age of 33. The pitcher was supposed to be with the team in Chicago to play the Cubs today. When Kyle didn't show up at the ballpark, they had hotel security check his room. They found Kyle in his bed, dead of natural causes. Not sure what went wrong yet. There were no signs of any foul play. Kyle is an 11-year Major League veteran. He leaves behind a wife and 3 kids, including an infant son. The Cardinals and the Cubs called off their game. Joe Girardi broke the news, and so began the emotional outpouring nationwide.
You will find out eventually what has happened, and I ask that you say a prayer for the St. Louis Cardinal family.
No bigger leader in our ball club, and in every way, and he healthy as far as health and attitude. I mean, yeah, we're staggered.
Honestly, the last few days have been tough. You know, first with Jack Buck, who, you know, of course I knew, and then you lose a friend, so it's going to be tough to play tonight. Real tough.
In a team meeting later in the day, the Cardinals decided they will play tomorrow night's game in Chicago for him. The rest of baseball did play on tonight. Houston, where Kyle broke into the big leagues, paid tribute with his 57 jersey. The Astros leading the Seattle Mariners 2-0 in the 6th when John Olerud promptly ties it with a 2-run shot, the 1,000th RBIs of Ole's career. They need 12 innings to settle matters. Jeff Bagwell, one of Kyle's best friends on the Astros, excused himself from the game until this, the pinch hit single in the 12th. That brings home Julio Lugo with the winning run. 3-2 Astros in 12. Bagwell, who had planned to take the night off to mourn his friend, honors him instead by winning a ball game. And again, this one's tough. You know, these athletes are in the best of shape, and they don't know what went wrong, but they'll find out with an autopsy real soon.
And no recent health problems?
That's right. They said he was in good health as far as everybody knew, but, you know, there's heart problems and different things that sometimes you don't see.
What a mystery, too. They say that he was always one of the first guys to the ballpark.
Yeah.
When he didn't show up, they knew something was wrong.
Yeah, they knew it.
Boy, thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Still ahead on the 10 o'clock news, Monica Guzza will tell us if your Sunday will be rainy.
Details in her pinpoint forecast. Also, overcast skies didn't dampen parade spirits in Beaverton today. We're going to show you a taste of the fun when the 10 o'clock news continues.
I am not compromising your integrity. I'm only asking for one spot that mentions that Thomason has the best internet shopping experience in Portland.
Yeah, well, spot and Jack. Get out of the way. I quit. I quit, so I just quitting. Who needs you people? You hey, screw it all. Get out of my loony.
When you have kids, you have to set priorities. So for family meals, I like to stress the family part, and I let someone else stress over the meal. That's why I was so happy to discover Schwann's.
Discover Schwann's yourself. Get a free chicken Alfredo rigatoni meal with your first purchase by calling 1-866-255-4344. It's one of more than 300 frozen food items they deliver.
With help from Schwann's, it's just a little easier to hold down the fort.
Call now for your free meal.
Once upon a time, there was a young girl who had oh my, what a wonderful day. She made lots of friends, touched a cloud or two on a California adventure. And the next day, she even saw a wish come true. There's more magic than ever at the Disneyland Resort. And right now, one child gets in free with each 3-day adult package. Call 1-877-700-DISNEY to book your Disney California vacation.
My company is my family. We succeed together. Without good people, we couldn't deliver. Their well-being is critical. They have to be healthy if we're going to be healthy. I need to know I can help them stay that way.
Regions Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon and its members are a community of people who support each other's health care. Regions Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon. It's for your health.
Ouch! Oh, it's getting hot out here. I think I like the showroom a lot better. Oh, watch the claws. Oh, I had hundreds of friends back there. Furniture I could relate to. Oh, officials. Where are your clever design consultants when I really need them? I don't think I'm going to like this. But then again...
Discover what your patio is capable of. Tonight's weather report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Grab life during the National Minivan Sales Event. Whether you're a planter, a painter, or a parent, it's a great time to buy a Dodge Caravan. Now you get 7 years or 100,000 miles of engine and transmission protection, something you don't get from Ford, GM, Honda, or Toyota. And for a limited time, Dodge gives you a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing, plus make no payments for 90 days. Hurry, don't miss your chance to drive America's best-selling minivan during the National Minivan Sales Event.
The annual Taste of Beaverton celebration is underway this weekend. The community kicked off today's festivities with this particular parade. Organizers try to get as many people to participate as possible. They encourage community groups to come up with decorated floats or musical ensembles. And as you can see, they got a pretty good turnout. The parade's theme is A Nation of Neighbors.
My neighbor to my right now will give me hopefully a nice sunny forecast for tomorrow.
I think I can do that for at least half the day, not the whole day though. So will that work for you? That'll work.
Take what we can get.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we take a look at conditions outside right now? And it's still quite warm outside. We didn't see a lot of sunshine today, but we did warm up and get enough sun to see some warm temperatures. So 67 degrees right now and overcast skies. So that's sort of holding the heat down here next to the earth. And we'll have a mild evening tonight. Pressure is steady right now. Winds out of the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour. Why don't we take a look at what's happening for us in the next 24 hours? 2 low pressure systems affecting the west right now. One over in eastern Montana that is actually causing some severe thunderstorms throughout the day and even tonight. Also, we have a low pressure system just offshore working its way onshore. That's what's brought the cloud cover onshore this evening. We saw that work its way onshore, and we may even see a little bit of drizzle out of this through the evening. As we go into tomorrow morning, overcast skies, chance for drizzle along the central and southern Oregon coast, and even some cloud cover into eastern Oregon. As we go through the day, we're going to see much of that clear up. Could see some rain and some thunderstorms roll up from the south and into southern Oregon. And the low continues to move onshore, but begins to be shunted up to the north a little bit. So any of the rain that we thought we might see tomorrow, I don't think is going to happen, except for that bit of drizzle that we might see along the coast in the morning. Here's a look at the Northwest satellite, and here's that cloud cover pushing onshore. Most of the clouds hit first in southern Oregon and have since stuck with us, and I believe the cloud cover will stay with us all day out along the coast. Northwest radar, we did see some showers and thunderstorms rolling up along the Cascade Range, otherwise dry. And then here you can see the thunderstorms moving through Montana and northern Idaho. Otherwise, not a bad day. High temperatures today, certainly cooler across much of the state than the temperatures we saw yesterday, especially here west of the Cascades. 61 degrees, very popular temperature out along the coast with cloud cover. 72 here in Portland. We started out overcast, became mostly cloudy, partly cloudy for a little bit of the time. Cooler as we go down into Salem and Eugene. Medford warm with 87 degrees. Temperatures in central and eastern Oregon a little warmer because we did see quite a bit more sunshine today. 89 in Redmond, Pendleton 93, Ontario 88 degrees, Klamath Falls 79 today. High temperatures across the nation. Everyone was feeling the heat today here on the second day of summer. Look at this, 90s and close to 100 degrees throughout the central, southern, and northern plains. Denver 92 today, 100 degrees down in Las Vegas. Phoenix 107. That does not bode well for the fire weather forecast. Colorado and Arizona still seeing red flag warnings today and into tomorrow. Things should cool a little bit, but then as we go into next week, things are going to heat up again for the entire West, and that includes the state of Oregon. And you can see thunderstorms over Florida and some cloud covers and occasional rain showers up in the northeast. Along the coast tomorrow, North Bend, Coos Bay, Newport, and Florence. Overcast skies tomorrow, a chance for some morning drizzle. That should dry out quickly. Up into Astoria, though, I think we're going to see some afternoon sunbreak. Should be quite nice. Small craft advisory is in effect only for a rough Columbia River bar. Otherwise, rather quiet out on the oceans, winds out of the southwest at 15 knots. Into the valleys, becoming partly sunny, Kelso 70 for a high, Salem 74, and warming as we go down into Corvallis and Eugene. Up in the Cascades, looking quite nice, 64 and 67 for a high. It will be windy along the passes, winds out of the west 10 to 20 miles per hour, freezing level at 11,000 feet. Into central Oregon, partly sunny skies. Small chance for an afternoon thunderstorm or maybe an occasional shower. Otherwise, lovely. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures in the mid-80s, so a comfortable day for you in Redmond and Bend, Sun River, Lupine. Into Burns, partly sunny skies, and your winds will be light. It will be windy, breezy as we go up into John Day. And LeGrand, 80 degrees. Baker City, 85. Winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Into the Gorge, it'll be breezy tomorrow. Winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. Take a look at our pinpoint forecast for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny skies in the afternoon, so I'm going to call the whole day partly sunny. 7-day forecast. Looks like we're going to stay pretty dry out there as we go into the weekend. Next weekend, that is. It's going to get hot out there, but no precipitation in the forecast at all.
And high 80s looks like on Saturday. Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like we had more than our share of hot weather this year.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks, Monica.
Water the lawn, I guess.
That's exactly right. Kind of a down note in the sports world, baseball world at least.
Yeah, we never like reporting on a great athlete who dies before his time, but we're going to do more of it coming up after Newsmakers. We will have more reaction on the sudden death of St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Darryl Kyle. But, of course, the games do go on, and today at PGE Park we had football. Can you believe it? Football in the month of June. The old pigskin bouncing around in the High School Oregon Bowl. Highlights coming up.
But first tonight in Newsmakers, we'll take you on a behind-the-scenes look at a spectacular exhibit at the Portland Art Museum. The Splendors of Japan, coming up.
And after Newsmakers, tonight's winning lotto numbers.
We're facing a global population crisis, and the solution will save you thousands right now at Car Chevy World. Massive overstock means drastic discounts have been made on over 500 vehicles, which means every Chevy is now an unbelievably low $99 over dealer invoice. You don't pay any rebate incentives, holdback, or advertising costs. You pay only $99 over invoice, where salaried salespeople see it your way. Every Chevy now just $99 over dealer invoice. Car Chevy World, Beaverton, Canyon Road, 1 block west of Murray.
If you're into this, you gotta have this. This look like fun? Watch this. With AT&T digital cable, you'll find channels that fuel all your outdoor interests, plus local weather and recreation reports. And when you're ready to kick back, digital cable has multiple channels of the best premium TV. This summer on HBO, catch hit movies like Shrek, A Knight's Tale, and award-winning originals everyone's talking about. On Showtime, watch groundbreaking originals and great Hollywood hits like Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Spy Kids. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now. Order any digital value package that includes HBO and Showtime and save $10 a month for the first 3 months. Plus, get free installation and a $50 gift card from G.I. Joe's. Whatever you're into outdoors, AT&T digital cable brings it home. Call now and seize this great deal. Then seize the weekend with free gear from G.I. Joe's.
I'm Kimberly Moss. Say goodbye to the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's what a Florida man is hoping to accomplish with a new device. Find out how it works Monday at 5 on Good Day Oregon. Good evening and welcome to Newsmakers. This summer, the Portland Art Museum is hosting a community-wide festival called Japan Summerfest. A variety of activities is planned, including a lecture series, food bazaars, and some musical performances. And all of this is in conjunction with the museum's latest exhibit, which runs through September. It's called Splendors of Imperial Japan, and it features pieces from the Meiji period. That's from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. Now, tonight in Newsmakers, we're going to go on a brief tour of the exhibit with the Portland Art Museum's curator of Asian art. This is Donald Jenkins. He's a curator of Asian art here at the Portland Art Museum. So tell me about this collection. How significant is it?
It may well be the most significant art of the Meiji period, collection of art of the Meiji period in existence anywhere. It is certainly one of the largest, and the quality is consistently of the highest.
All right, let's take a look at some of the stuff. Can you show us some of the highlights?
Sure. Well, we're looking at a cabinet that was commissioned by the Imperial Household of Japan and was given by Hirohito, the late Emperor of Japan, when he was still Crown Prince and had visited Great Britain, I think just after the First World War. He gave it as a gift to Edward, who became briefly Edward VIII before he abdicated the throne in order to marry the woman he loved, Wallis Simpson.
Is this gold on the...
There's gold, and as lacquer is made, these are layers of lacquer that are built up painstakingly. Each layer has to set up, and then another layer can be applied. The gold is actually under a layer, a final layer of clear lacquer.
Were the Japanese artists of this time known for their cloisonné?
They were. In fact, they perfected the medium to a level that has never been equaled or surpassed. In fact, what we're seeing here is really an art that is no longer practiced. The Japanese took the art of cloisonné from the Chinese, so to speak. The Chinese were most famous for cloisonné up until this time. But then they moved it in a direction that was totally different from what the Chinese had done, with a freedom and using wires, because the separate colors are actually kept separate by wires. It's a form of taking powdered glass, putting it in a kiln, heating it up so that it melts. But you don't want the different colors to melt together or blur, so the wires are essential for that. Now here there are wires, but they are silver wires, and they are so fine, so minutely handled that you're not even aware of them. That other piece was an early work from the same artist and is much more based on the earlier Chinese models, and there you can see the gold, rather thick wires separating the different colors. Well, we're looking at a cabinet in which the panels, the decorative panels, are made of cloisonné, but of the cloisonné that was dubbed wireless, because if there are wires there, you can't see them. They really look like deft watercolor paintings. The technique is extraordinary.
Okay, decorative bowl, is that what this is?
This is a decorative bowl in a type of ware that a lot of people in this country are familiar with, called satsuma, because a lot of it was collected by our grandmothers and great-grandmothers. It was enormously popular. In fact, this was one kind of ware that was essentially made for export and was bought by Europeans and Americans, and there's not much of it in Japan. It is not porcelain, though people often think it is. It's a lower fired ware. There has to be two firings. The first is to create the vessel itself, and then they are painted, and as you can see here, the painting is meticulous. Often gold and certain reds are primary colors.
Would this be softer than porcelain then?
It's softer than porcelain, and we can't do it, but if you were to tap that with your finger, it wouldn't make that ringing sound that porcelain does. Porcelain is fired at a much higher temperature, and it becomes vitreous, glass-like almost all the way through. There is some of it still made today, but you can really tell the differences. Again, probably nobody would be willing to invest the kind of time and care that went into bowls of this type. It's called embroidery, as a matter of fact, okay. But it's not the kind of embroidery that your grandmother did, probably. It's done with silk, of course, and the artist has taken maximum advantage of the glossiness of silk to give a kind of sense of light. I mean, you swear that there's light striking the animal's fur, and look at the sharp bristles by his nose. Amazing work, which probably was based on popular English paintings of the time. From a distance, you would swear are oil paintings. You have to walk up to them to see that we're talking about threads.
Now, Jenkins tells us that during the Meiji period, Japanese craftsmanship reached levels of perfection never equaled before or since. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the bronze work that's on display.
Jerry just can't hack it as the boss.
Jerry, I don't want you to freak out.
Next, Seinfeld. Tonight on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Stephen Wood owns a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Compared to other SUVs in his class, I found that I got the most value for my money.
It comes with the freedom of America's best warranty.
It shows that Hyundai really stands behind the Santa Fe.
Plus a long list of standard features, including 6-speaker CD.
It's a great SUV. My friends were jealous.
The Hyundai Santa Fe at just $17,934. It's the thinking person's SUV.
Freedom is calling, yeah.
The Hyundai Santa Fe at $17,934. Your test drive is waiting.
I think it's the word warehouse in our name that makes some people feel that our quality can't be up to par. But the fact is, the suits we carry are made with the same attention to detail as those that others sell for hundreds more. But because we sell so many, we can sell them for hundreds less. To our customers, we're like a small men's boutique. And it's only when they see the price that the word warehouse makes sense.
Men's Warehouse.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
A host nation is alive and kicking in the World Cup. South Korea's history-making win coming up next in sports.
In 1935, the farming folks of St. Paul, Oregon decided they needed a little fun.
This year marks the 67th St. Paul Rodeo, July 3rd through 6th, presented by Les Schwab Tires. 4 days of bronking, bucking, dirt throwing, and clowning around. Plus, for the first time, the finals of the Wrangler Pro Rodeo Tour on Saturday. And a brand new pyrotechnic fireworks show after each evening performance. Call 1-800-237-5920 to order your tickets now. Because nobody does rodeo like St. Paul.
Come on, let's go.
Only in Oregon, where millions of dollars in lottery profits go to maintain our state parks year-round. Because to Oregonians, there's no such thing as a bad day at the beach. Lottery games are based on chance and should be played for entertainment only.
Al Bundy tells you how to make it in shoe business.
No one is stupid enough to call a shoe hotline.
Tonight at 11:30 on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Welcome back. Our topic for newsmakers tonight is the splendors of Imperial Japan. It is the latest exhibit at the Portland Art Museum. Now, the artwork comes from the Meiji period, which was a time of a lot of change in Japanese society. After several centuries of isolation, the country was focused on modernizing. And that put a lot of craftspeople out of work. Metalsmiths, for example, suddenly weren't needed as much because samurai swords weren't being used anymore with the introduction of guns. And so the metalsmiths poured their talent instead into artwork. All right, some scary faces here.
Oh yes, these are demons. Oni, as the Japanese call them. I think one is associated, the flute player is probably associated with the wind, you know, the shrilling sound of the wind, and the other beats a drum and is probably associated with thunder. But in other respects, they wear these skirt-like costumes with the marvelous animal heads, and look at the eyes that are inset with another kind of metal. These are cast bronze, but then after the bronze comes out of the furnace, they do all kinds of other work. They insert gold and other colors into it. For instance, look at the eyes again, and look at how those eyes stare out at us. Amazing work. In fact, the bronze casters of this period they created work of such a high standard that the Europeans who saw these were staggered. They just couldn't believe that anybody could, using the laborious technique of bronze casting, which is
it a difficult medium?
It is a very difficult medium. I mean, you create molds, you use a wax that has to then be melted away inside the mold, and so easily things could go wrong in the whole process. If it doesn't drain, if the gases don't escape quickly enough, the surface gets marred. They were extraordinary bronze workers. And the interesting thing is, because of the changes that were occurring in Japan at this time, they had to find new markets. Bronze casters used to work for the Buddhist temples, but Buddhism sort of fell out of favor with the government at this time. The temples no longer had the money to commission the artists, and so suddenly there they were with no patronage. At that time, fortunately, the government stepped in and encouraged them to make objects that would sell to the Europeans and Americans. That had several advantages as far as the Japanese government was concerned. First of all, it employed their artists, who were artists of great talent, who otherwise would be out of work. It also earned hard currency, which the Japanese government at that time desperately needed as it was trying to modernize itself.
Looks like they had a fair amount of ivory to work with.
They must have, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap to acquire. So I assume these sculptures were fairly pricey even at the time. What's interesting is the combination of cast bronze and ivory, something Europeans, Americans would never do. But the Japanese had this, again, a great background in carving ivory, and so I think they came up with a rather ingenious use for it here to show the exposed features and use the rest of the body of the figure in bronze. And I admire these tremendously. I mean, the degree of almost photographic realism and the humanity of this, especially of this man who is coming home from working out in the forest or the field, and you can see that he's no longer young. Here, for instance, we're looking at a little boy. I think this is so charming, taking hold of a rooster that's flapping its wings and kicking its legs to escape. And once again, look at the detail. Look at all the scales on the rooster's legs and the way the feathers open out. It's very realistic, let me assure you. But as you mentioned, this would have to be done, since ivory comes in a tusk shape, a cylinder. It would have to be done and pieced together. And there are places here, if you look very closely, there's a line down here, for instance, in two different colors of ivory on the front of his kimono there.
So you can see the joint?
You can see it. Probably at the time it was made, that would have been less obvious.
Who does all this artwork belong to?
All of this belongs to Dr. Nasser David Khalili, who is a citizen of Great Britain, lives in London, and actually is of Iranian Jewish descent. And he started about 20 years ago building this collection at a time when much of the art was still not all that fashionable, and so was able to pick them up for something less than the kinds of prices they'd command today. There are actually over 350 pieces in this exhibition, which is only a portion of his entire collection of this material. And by the way, this is only one of the areas in which he collects.
The Splendors of Imperial Japan will be at the Portland Art Museum through September the 22nd. That's it from Newsmakers. We'll be back with sports and a final look at your forecast in a moment.
It's Wix Furniture's big 36-hour store-wide sale. No payments or finance charges due for 1 year.
Wix has it all, baby.
I love the smell and taste of food cooked on an open wood fire, and I love my gas grills. But until I added smoke and barbecue, there was something missing. The pellets are a blend of all natural woods. Put some in a foil pouch like this and drop it near the flame. Smoke and barbecue gives that real wood fire flavor. My family loves smoke and barbecue.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and so do my neighbors. I just wish they'd get their own.
Where there's smoke and barbecue, there's real flavor.
What makes Dick's Country Dodge in Hillsboro the first place to go for a great deal?
How about the best selection of Dodge cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs in Oregon?
And right now we have over 850 new and used models to choose from.
Save $8,500 off MSRP on new 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks.
Save $7,000 off MSRP on new 2002 Caravans and $8,000 off MSRP on new Durangos.
Hey, you just gotta know where to go.
You tell them, sis.
That's Dick's Country Dodge.
In Hillsboro.
Boom! Ah! Hey!
Hi, Dad.
Now that's music, son. You gotta learn to live a little bit. We're going to a casino, not a peace rally. Now listen up. First we'll hit the slots, then the poker tables. Then we're gonna have a nice dinner overlooking the beach. Father and son painting the town, making the scene. And I'll introduce you to 2 little words I know, craps and buffet.
When the Enterprise comes between bitter rivals,
Release that hostage.
the crew becomes a target.
This isn't any of our business. I've got an armory full of torpedoes. We're not handling this in the right way. Any other orders of mine you'd like to question?
Enterprise, Wednesday at 8 on KPTV, Oregon's 12. Now, sports with Dan Christopherson.
Now, fans, it is hard to believe we are only 2 months away from the brink of football season. Can you believe that? And you know, we need to work these things in gradually, and so we bring you the Les Schwab Oregon Bowl from PGE Park. We have outgoing high school players, the big men on campus last year, the last hurrah over there at PGE Park. As always, North versus the South. Redmond's Josh Wagenblast having a blast on the touchdown strike to Josh Kyle of South Medford. And that should tip you off who scored first. South Medford, get it? Wagenblast from Redmond, as I mentioned. He goes up with Zach Moran of Sheldon. Sets up another South touchdown, 14-0. The North in some trouble, and they're going to make it worse with the bad snap. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Touchdown for the South. They're on top, 21-zip, looking good. The North finally gets it going as Legadou Nani out of Franklin High School. The perfect pass to Kyle Falk out of Jesuit. And those two will hook up one more time on the timing pattern, and that works. But that just brings the final score. South 21, North 14. The South rules again. All right, we toss it long to Germany. Dusseldorf, to be precise. The World League Championship game. World Bowl 10. Dane Looker, now you see him, now you don't. Looker's gone. And the Berlin Thunder are going to roar past the Rhine Fire, 26-20. And I do mean roar. Berlin celebrates a repeat World League Championship, back-to-back. Next stop now, South Korea. They are red hot for the host country in the World Cup. They need penalty kicks, major overtime to break a scoreless tie with Spain. Hong Myung-bo will boot home the game winner, and South Korea is in full-blown euphoria, the first Asian country to reach the World Cup semis. They will play the Germans, who beat the Americans. That's on Tuesday. The last semifinal berth goes to Turkey. Look at this. İlhan Mansis, the Turkish hero. Congratulations, and they get Brazil in the Final Four. They knock off Senegal. Well, it has been a somber sports day back here in the States. Darryl Kyle found dead in his Chicago hotel room. They say the Cardinals pitcher died of natural causes pending an autopsy. Kyle, just 33 years old, leaves a wife, Flynn, and 3 children, and of course countless broken hearts within the baseball family.
You hate losing a teammate, and it's even worse, a friend, so I had to feel for Flynn and the kids. My wife talked to Flynn this morning, and she was a mess, flying out to Chicago from San Diego, so, and I feel so bad for the family.
What do you say? They did pay their respects to Kyle in ballparks around the country. And the games did go on. The Marlins' Luis Castillo working on a 35-game hitting streak, the longest in history for a second baseman and a Latin American player. But 35 is where the streak will end. Castillo just out at first base right here. He is 0 for 4 at that point in the 8th inning. Fans acting like it's over. But Castillo almost got one more shot in the bottom of the 9th as Florida taking on Detroit in a 4-4 game. This is Tim Raines with the sacrifice fly that will win the game. Guess where Castillo was at this point? He was on deck, the next guy to hit. But hey, you know what? His team won right there. Kind of happy, sad about that thing. But the 10th longest streak in baseball history is now over. Oh well. The Portland Beavers open a 4-game set in Oklahoma, and it is not okay, fans. The Redhawks beat the Beavers 6-1. 'Tis the season for high school all-stars. Oregon versus Washington now on the Vancouver baseball diamond, Hudson's Bay High School. The Washingtonians won the first game 8-2, well on their way to a doubleheader sweep as Joe McCaslin drives home a couple of runs. 9-3 for the Evergreen State, but the Oregonians not going down easy. Rob Sears representing Sunset High School and gets it over the right fielder's head. Sears hustling around for a triple, and you see the run scoring. The rally is on. Same inning, Cole Gillespie for the Oregon team will fly the yard right there, but the Washington team hangs on for the 9-7 victory and earns a 2-game sweep, that is, in that series. Texas wins the College World Series, and Jacob Klepish went 16th overall to Ottawa in the NHL draft. The Portland Winterhawk doing well.
All right, Dan, thanks very much.
Monica has a look at weather for us.
7-day forecast. Check this out. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow with temperatures warming to 73, becoming partly sunny. Monday, partly sunny, and then pretty much sunny skies for the rest of the week. Next Saturday, though, we could see temperatures as high as 90 almost.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. We'll see you again tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Kimberly Moss. And I'm Ken Ackerman. Summer is just about to get sweeter. Monday on Good Day Oregon, we're kicking off blueberry season with a great recipe.
And overcome your fears with extreme success Monday.
What time is your flight get in? 6? All right, that gives us 6 hours. Then I'll meet you at the Diplomats Club. I'll be the one without the big red sash. Okay. See you tonight.
Is that the supermodel?
Yep. She's not going to be back for a month, but I have 6 hours.
I thought you had a show in Ithaca.
I do, but it's 3 o'clock. I'm flying right back, and then I'm going to meet Bridget at the Diplomats Club in the airport.
Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to Mr. Pitts, and I am telling him that I am quitting.
So that's it? You know, I never even met the guy.
I've had enough. I am marching in.
You're marching in.
I'm marching.
Hey, Elaine's quitting.
Really?
I'm marching in.
I've done the march in. Best feeling in the world.
How about the march out?
Not as good. That's when you realize all the money you're losing.
Oh, boy. Okay, that's it. Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Get a march going. March it.
Jerry, I need to borrow your camera.
Why?
Well, I want to put a picture of me and my boss, Mr. Morgan, up in the office.
What for?
Well, he's reorganizing the whole staff, and I'm on thin ice with this guy as it is.
Isn't putting his picture on your desk a little transparent?
It better be.
Introducing McDonald's new grilled chicken flatbread sandwich. Warm flatbread and grilled chicken melted all together with pepper jack cheese. It's the newest sensation.
In the blink of an eye, your world can change. Introducing Night and Day, the contact lenses that can be worn safely for up to 30 nights and days continuously. A revolutionary new material allows your eyes to breathe even while sleeping. No more cleaning.